Okay, good.
You ready? All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to this public information session about our proposed capital project here at Canajoharie. My name is Debbie Grimshaw. I'm Superintendent of Schools, and I will be presenting some information tonight and certainly answering any questions that folks might have. However, as in all good projects, this is a group effort. So I'd like to introduce some team members tonight who are here to help us, and if there are questions at the end, they will also be helping to answer. We have on our far right, your far right, Gary May, our Director of Facilities, and our architect from the SEI Group, Eric Tomasky. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining us, and we'll let you have a seat for a minute.
Thanks.
But if there's questions, we're going to ask you to assist us. So our purpose today is just to really share with you information about the project and about how the financing for the project will work. Two important questions that people always want to know about. Our agenda is to go over the scope and the budget, but also to tell you a little bit about how we got here and what our next steps would be and how we're going to handle some of the upcoming activities. Just a very brief, I know there's a lot of words up there, but we'll just give a brief overview of the history. In 2015, all school districts in New York State had to complete building condition surveys. And the building condition surveys were a detailed report about the status of the facilities and the status of the place where we have children learn every day. As a result of that survey, our Board of Education, along with our Board Buildings and Grounds Committee, started to take a look at what are some things that came up in the survey and some other issues that we knew our district was facing or was going to face in the near future, and is that the opportunity to put together a capital project proposal. So in December of 2016, the district put out an RFP for architects. We did not have one at the time. We did that. And between May 2017 and September 2017, we developed a scope for a project after the Board of Education had selected the SEI Group as our architecture firm. We spent a lot of time thinking about what the priorities of the project would be. This project is primarily health and safety oriented, as well as doing some basic repair work. In October of 2017, the board made the vote to move forward with the capital improvement project. The capital improvement project is about $5 million, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in just a minute. But our banners up here that you see really indicate what some of the pieces are. It does include safety, which is the renovation of all three entrances into our buildings, the most substantial one being at the middle school, as well as some other heating, HVAC, and other repair work. In November, we have been doing a large-scale information campaign. We have information out on our website, on all of our social media. We have a video that's up as well and available to people. We have about 600 views of the video right now, and we have a variety of other public information sessions, including one that we held for staff and one for the PTA. After the holidays, because we do have Thanksgiving next week, all residents will receive a flyer that will also outline the capital project and give some additional detail. With all of that campaign, on December 5th, we are asking our public to vote to authorize the project and also to authorize the creation of a capital reserve to help fund the project. So that's our history. So our scope includes all three buildings and the bus garage. At East Hill and Middle School, we are talking about secure entrances. We're talking about heating. We're talking about some items that are code compliance, meaning things that we have to do to be in compliance. Over our 6th grade wing at the middle school, there's a need to do some roof reconstruction. In all of the buildings, we are talking about door and hardware replacement, just for wear and tear, as well as some video camera upgrades. At East Hill, our great room has some floor tiles that need to be replaced. And we also have 2 items for the Nellis pool, and that is a thermal solar for the pool, as well as to replace the pool filter pump. Again, these are all items that are repair in nature, that are upgrade in nature, that if you take care of it now, because they've been well maintained, they won't be bigger problems in the future. At the high school, there are some of the same items around interior door hardware and video cameras. In addition, we are looking at the secure entry and making some modifications there, and also updating the master clock system and doing some repairs to our track outside. Our track is in need of a little bit of upgrade as well. It is well used and well loved, so we're looking at the outdoor track resurfacing and making some modifications to our track and field event zones in that space so that they are safer and for our athletes. At the bus garage, we're looking at control upgrades as well as handicap accessibility into the building, which is something we need to pay attention to, and video camera upgrades. So it's a lot of maintenance, it's a lot of things that just need to be maintained. And the biggest piece is really the entrances in all three buildings and making some changes there for safety purposes. How we will pay for it is always the question that comes after what you are doing, maybe sometimes before. So what we have is a $4,986,750 project. The majority of the project will be paid for by state building aid, which will be 77% of the aid. We also have some other Excel aid that we can use. We also have debt service, that was a fund that we have that we can use. And with the establishment, with voter approval of a capital reserve project and the board's decision to move money into the capital reserve, that will take up about 16% of the expenditures, which leaves about 2% for the local share. That's the share the taxpayers in this district will have to encumber in order to make this project happen. On a $4.9 million project, the estimated cost for a home assessed at $100,000 is $2.25. So we've worked hard with all of our financing partners, fiscal advisors, and our auditors to make sure that we are minimizing the cost to our local taxpayers in order to make these safety upgrades and health upgrades. And here's our schedule. After the schedule, we'll be happy to entertain any questions. We're having our public information sessions now. On December 5th from noon to 9 here at the high school is the public vote. If the vote is approved, beginning in January of 2018 through June of 2018 will be the design phase. That will be an opportunity for input from others, including staff and some folks who are interested in taking a look at relevant staff and individuals who are interested in being part of that process for input. And then from July 2018 to March 2019, yes, that is a long period of time, all of our information and our plans have to go to the State Education Department for approval. You have to lead quite a significant amount of time for State Ed to do their work, and so we want to make sure we're building in enough time for that to happen. All of that goes well in April of 2019, which truly will be here before we know it. Their bidding will begin, and then in July of 2019 through September of 2020 will be the construction phase. So it seems like it's a long, drawn-out process. It actually, our parts of it will go quickly. You can see what our time schedule is, and we will be patient as State Education Department does their review and their final approval. That is it in a nutshell. We tried to keep it succinct, but I do want to offer the opportunity for any questions that I can answer or that Gary or Eric could answer about the project proposal.
So the total cost for the taxpayer is $2.25 a year?
Yeah, the question is the total cost for the taxpayer is estimated to be $2.25 per year. Yes.
Not per thousand, it's just per year. And that's
For $100,000 of your home. Correct? I'm also asking Mrs. Schaefer for that, our Director of Finance and Accounting. Yes.
So the capital reserve is going to kick in 16% towards the project.
Correct.
How does that affect the total reserve? Is there a lot of money there?
Right now, the reserve is expired. There was a capital reserve in a prior project. Those have a lifespan of about 10 years. So that one has expired. We will be asking the voters to authorize the establishment of a new capital reserve. We currently have $51,000 in the expired one. So that one will go to the new one, and then the board will make some decisions about adding additional money into that from our unrestricted fund balance. And right now the projections, and I'm going to say the projections are to add in $750,000, which then would make up to 16%.
So the solar project for the pool, is that an actual solar unit? Is that
The solar project for the pool, I'm going to ask if Eric could mind coming up, because he knows those details.
So, yeah, it would
And he
be,
won't muck it up. I mind. There you go.
it's for thermal solar heating. So it would pump hot water into a series of tubes that the sun would heat up, and then that hot water would help to heat up the pool through a heat exchanger.
what's the lifespan of that?
Those typically last into the 30-year period.
Good. One more.
Please. We're glad you're
You
here.
had the state reviewing this for 9 months. What's the chance of them finishing that sooner and starting the projects?
I'm just going to give it to Jessica later.
Well, we're hopeful that it'll be a quicker review. The state started to implement some processes that are supposed to take that time period down. But right now, we're being conservative and holding the full 9-10 months just to make sure that we have enough time in the schedule.
Thank you.
Other questions? Thank you for asking some clarifying questions.
What happens to all these projects if the voters do not approve the capital project?
So the question is, what happens to all of these items if we do not have a successful vote on December 5th? Some of these items would have to be budgeted for in the regular general fund budget one way or another, because the repair work, some may not happen, but some of the things like the boilers, the heating, and some of those other pieces are due to wear and tear, and they would have to be accommodated for another way.
I assume that other way would not be aidable then, seeing that it's not packaged into a project.
Here. And invite Eric to come back.
So hopefully none of the other work that happens would have to be an emergency project. Emergency projects are aidable, but I always use the example of the branch falls on your house. The state will pay to get the branch out and fix your window, but all the other subsequent damage that may have happened would have to be unaidable. So the floors that need to get repaired, you would have to enlist your insurance company and that kind of stuff. But for these types of things that are maintenance and repair type issues, some could be aidable if it turns into an emergency. In general, it probably wouldn't be and have to come out of fund balance. Or there might be an opportunity to approach it in a different way.
So the most efficient way would be to have a capital improvement project that would allow us to bundle all of these items together and then make the substantial renovation, or the renovations and the improvements that we needed to. Without a successful vote, there will have to be alternate plans that we would use to make those. Some of these things need to happen no matter what. So we would have to find another way to do it. Other questions? So tonight we are live streaming. We live streamed this presentation. We're also recording it. So for our community members who may be watching it at home, just like to invite you to give our office a call at 673-6302 if you have questions about the presentation, or if you go to our Capital Project webpage, we have a form that you can fill out to ask your questions and submit it, and then we will respond. So with that, I guess we'd just like to say thank you to everyone for taking some time out of what has become a very busy Wednesday night here in the district and participating in our capital project presentation. Thanks and have a good night.